Hey guys, it's Doc here, and tonight I wanted to talk about a book that completes a set. That's always a good feeling, guys. It's an unboxing without the actual unboxing, but let's take a look and see what I got in the mail today. What is it? It is Taboo Especial, not to be confused with E-Special, because this book was created before the internet was a thing. And so you don't have to worry about getting it confused whether it's an e-special or it's an internet e-special. Because, like I said, this was pre-internet. And I'm just going to flip through here. I haven't looked at it at all, so we've got that scary cat right there. You've got horror stories. Let's see what all you've got on this in this book. Looks like you have something by Phil Nutman. You've got Mark Martin. You've got Rick Grimes doing Footstool. Let's see, what else do we have here? Jeff Nicholson. You've got one by Scott McCloud, A Day's Work by Scott McCloud. And you get all of these wonderful, scary stories and images just like you have done before. And I don't want to share too much of this because I want to keep it for when all of this comes together. And now that I've got every single issue of this series, then I'm looking forward to having a chance to go over them issue by issue. But it's really, really great to have this book in my collection because now I've got everything that I need. The very last book that I need in this series. You get this really feel of comics, and I don't mean comics with a CS, I mean comics with an IX. I actually sat and watched a long documentary about Art Spiegelman and how he created and went through the process of creating Mouse, the damaged relationship with his father, the fact that the book turned out to be an absolute masterpiece and he never set out to make it such. It was really just his way of trying to understand life and understand what's going on in that life. Why his father was so frustrated and angry with life. Why his mother took her own life. So many aspects of that. And so you get that with this book. You get an underground, almost an R. Crumb type of book with comics in it. And like I said, not comics like comic books, but comics stories, underground comics. Stories that really... Sorry, guys. Stories that really have a message that they can spread. And they get to talk about all of these different things that normal Spider-Man books can't talk about. Normal Marvel and DC books can't talk about. But we will dig deeper into this, guys. Thank you for joining me in this. I am excited and stoked to finally have this last issue that I needed to complete the set. Thank you, Steve Bissett, John Totalbin, Rick Vetch, and company. Thank you to Tundra. Thank you to Kitchen Sink for doing all of these books and giving everybody the opportunity to read these stories that, again, are less than mainstream, but have just as much story to tell and just as much weight behind these stories. These stories were not created for mass market or mass profit. These stories were instead created with love, with tenderness, with horror by their creators, so that they could be in your hands, so that you could read them and enjoy them as they come out, not with editorial mandates looking over their shoulder and somebody tapping on their shoulder saying, no, you can't do that. Instead, it was almost like an EC book. It gave a freedom that you couldn't be afforded from the big two, which at that point was really the only two that were large enough to matter. Anyway, guys, like I said, thanks again for joining me for this rather unboxing with Taboo, the E-Special episode, and the E-Special issue. All right, guys, once I get all of my books together and get this comic book room together in the next month and a half, then you can look forward to more content just like this and a lot more high quality content that will be coming from me, because like I've said before, I want you guys to know who I am. I want you to know more and more about this channel, and I want this channel to grow organically. I'm not trying to build something that doesn't matter. I'm not trying to put out a bunch of videos that don't matter, but in the end, I would love to do videos that do matter and bring you guys enjoyment. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time. That was my wife being an absolute nut, because that's what she does.